Thank you about the volume. Sorry, guys. So what I was saying is use this time to ask questions, and what I'm going to try to do is find out some more information too on two things: glutathione and also NAD. So NAD is for cells and keeping those guys healthy and rebuilding cells in the body. And then glutathione is just an amazing antioxidant that can help reduce some stuff in the body. Also, at the same time, it will keep you stronger, mostly if you're traveling, is what a lot of people talk about. And I go, traveling or not traveling, I just want to be rocking and rolling. So, when you guys get time, jump in, ask these questions. But I want to try to find out the top tier of how much, and who better to do this with besides my boy.
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, Captain. So
Awesome,
I was
awesome.
doing some research on a couple things, glutathione
Yep.
and NAD, and I was reading up on a lot of people, and I know that there's like time factors, bypassing time factors, and bypassing uh, what it may do to you if you do it IV wise compared to injectable. But we, they're understanding. We've talked about that. If it's got to be a slow process with the NAD,
Mhm,
and then you get the glutathione. Now,
mhm.
I think our question here is, what is a top tier that we can do? Because I know that when I went and did the PRP, right?
Mhm.
And what they did to prep me, which I thought was really interesting, is
IV.
they did do an IV of NAD.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, because they were going to explain because what we're trying to do for your body, and before we take your blood, we would like to
Mhm.
do this to make it superhuman, uh, Mr. America science project um, uh, uh, blood. And I'm like, do your thing, whatever
Yeah.
you guys do. You're doctors. I'm here for the PRP.
Yep.
I need to keep my body together the best I can.
Yep.
And so we were there, I don't know, like a little less than an hour, I guess, because they can get the drip a little bit moving because we're already on a protocol
Mhm.
of this. And so
Mhm.
the IV didn't do like the upset stomach and all the things that we talked
Right.
about.
Right. Right. Right.
But the dose, so this is where I want to go to.
Sure.
What is we've talked about a regular dose.
Yep.
Is there a portion of time where you can up that like the IV bag? If I might be way off here, but they were like 10 thou on the NAD for an hour. We never got that high. We did like 500,
Okay.
which seems like, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. 500 is a good, really good dose.
A
Usually a
regular, what's
thousand milligram is what they do 2 hours with.
okay? 1,000. Okay,
Yes.
so I was way off.
Yes.
So then my numbers was 500,
Hmm.
and we didn't get to 1,000.
Right.
We did 500. So a regular dose in a shot is what?
So, it really depends on you, right? So when you get the vial of NAD, it's most of them are not pre-constituted. That means they're in freeze-dried powdered form and you have to reconstitute them, right? So if it's a 500 milligram vial, okay, we usually put that with 5 mLs of bacterial static water. That way, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So let me explain. So a 1-to-1 ratio would mean on an insulin syringe, you have 100 units on the insulin syringe. Let me get one so I can show you guys.
I love this guy. So I think I'll have
So
him say it, but here we go.
so you have a 1 ml insulin syringe, which on it says 100 units. This whole syringe, 100 units equals 1 ml. So if you reconstituted your NAD with 5 mLs, you would have 5 full insulin needles of medication after you reconstituted. But what you're going to do is you're going to pull this singly for whatever injection you're going to do. So let's say we pull the first one, and usually we tell patients to take 50 units. So you're going to get a half of ml. So what that's going to break down to is that's going to break down to 50 milligrams of NAD. Now, if you want, you can up it up to the 100 unit mark. And if you want to get 100 milligrams of NAD right on the spot, boom, you're set, you're ready to rock and roll. So it's that simple and easy to be able to do and not have to sit there, one, with a needle in your arm in some location and have to sit there for, per se, a half an hour, whatever you're going to do.
You're not going 5 days a week.
No.
So there's a way that we can match that number in a smaller dose.
Sure.
Daily for 7
Yes.
days.
Yes.
And it will not only match it, you don't lose the time, and
Right.
also you're getting the same thing. So let's match that, because what you're saying is, like, I did 500,
Right.
and so basically that's just 5 of those,
Right.
loaded to 100.
Yep.
Each day, Monday through Friday, and I just matched it.
Yep. And honestly, the 500 milligrams and 1,000 milligrams, it's a big boost to the system, right? You're introducing a lot of NAD, which is it's in every living cell of the body. It's a precursor to ATP. The reason that you get, and if you haven't got NAD through an IV or an injection where it was enough medication, you'll feel a flushness coming on. Some people will feel tightness in the chest. Some people get little stomach cramps or gargles. Totally natural. And this is something that happens to everybody, right? If you especially haven't been taking it. If you've been taking it, your body has it in the system, and it's not such a shock or rush or flood of NAD in the system. You're okay no matter what, right? It's just they want people to sit in that chair that long because they don't want them freaking out.
Yeah,
and that's
they're very cautious about that. They're like, anything, and they really drip it small.
Yeah.
How's your stomach? You feel okay? Are you nauseous?
Yep.
And then this morning we gave Mona her first NAD at 40.
Yep.
And it wasn't 20, 30 seconds later, she just felt like her body was closing up. And it was just a complete shock to her body for the first time.
Yep.
Just for you guys that are listening to this, I love the fact I'm a time guy. I can't get that time back.
Right.
And I don't, and not only time back, you're there for an hour. You got to find the place 15, 30 minutes, and I'm in LA. So a 5-minute drive turns into a half an hour, or it could be 45 minutes
right
in LA. I don't know where you guys are living here in the States, but for me, I can't take 3 hours to do the same thing I could do at home in 40 seconds once a day in the morning.
Yeah.
So that you answered the questions beautifully. I wanted to 1 week just to, I could do up to 105 times.
Absolutely. And let's say, most of the weeks you're good, but you've got something important coming up, right? You got a big business meeting, you got a big whatever, whether it's an event or whatever it may be. You can take this that day prior to, maybe an hour, 2 hours beforehand, and be ready to go. So not only does it have super, super major health benefits, like we're talking about, repairing on a cellular level is huge.
Don't jump there yet. Don't jump there.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to give you that. I'm going to feed you. I'm going to feed you the ball, but you're trying to win the game in the first round. We got 4 quarters here.
Don't
give them that.
Okay. All right. I won't give them that.
But compare, because Jeff and I were talking about this, and obviously Serge is here bringing this kind of information in for us, and really setting us up to win. Thank you, Serge. But it was interesting when they were talking to me, because where I was, if everybody didn't see it, I was at the Ravens main headquarters for their athletes and stuff. So it was a privilege to be there. But of course, I wanted to know, what are these pro 20-year-olds doing?
Right.
These ultimate athletes. What are they doing?
Right.
And just hear this out, everybody. Those guys are already doing NAD at 20.
Oh,
so if you're thinking, maybe this isn't something for me. Maybe it's not, because if you don't think If you don't take your life as serious as a pro athlete, I don't understand that mentality. I don't care what you do. I take my life as much as serious as any of these billionaires take theirs. These pro athletes, all of it.
For sure.
So I asked, what's the top tier that these guys do? They come in here before the games, the week, and it was like 500 is a goal.
Yes.
Some are doing 1,000.
Yep.
But I think 500 for a long period of time is plenty for anybody that's going second level. And then for me, I think I've been about 250 a week.
Mm-hmm.
I think I am at.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel great. And again,
Right.
now I'm going to let you go free. Leash is off. Tell these people what it does to the cells.
Sure. So basically what it does is it revitalizes the cells. So what happens is cells deteriorate and cells try to bring themselves back to where they were, but they never really do that. And this causes cellular deterioration, breakdown, all these other things that start happening, and rapid aging, decline, all these different things. So what happens is this actually repairs on the cellular level. It helps your cells repair themselves, which is awesome. And that's why this is a big driver for dementia and Alzheimer's and all these different diseases out there. Neurological decline, as we like to call it. So at that point, like this is great for that. Natural energy knocks it off the charts. Not a stimulant effect, but a natural energy. This is something that's great. Helping protect your DNA is another big thing of this. Chronic fatigue syndrome. This is where you go. People are taking Adderall, Ritalin, or any of those HGAD medications. This is the great way to go. There's so many different things. And one different thing for Titan Medical compared to anybody else out there, whether you're getting an injection or whether you're getting an IV, okay, we have the most inexpensive pricing on the market. A lot of these different places are doing these treatments for $500 to $2,000 of what I've seen, right? So at that point, you're talking about $275 from us, and you're getting the exact same medication. You can utilize it by yourself. If you really want to come in and sit for an IV, you can utilize it for that too as well. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with NAD. And like I said, and I sent you the post a couple weeks ago. I've been talking about NAD and utilizing it in the clinic for over 8.5 years. So there's nobody on the market. And there was a couple doctors that I've read books on that they definitely beat me to the punch, but they weren't practicing medicine like this. So at that point, like I don't know any clinics out there because when I originally wanted to get it and get it for our patients and for myself, nobody was producing it. Not one compound pharmacy, not one commercial product on the market. So at that point, that's when I first made it, and that's kind of where it went. But like I said, so many different benefits for it. You can use it when you want to, or you can utilize it all the time. And it's only going to give you better health benefits when you do utilize it. So, oral form doesn't work too well. I see a lot of oral things on the market that don't.
The vitamin companies are jumping on that with
They are. But you can look at different things, and we're talking about precursor to glutathione too. So I mean, there's a lot of different things that go along with this. But effectiveness of the oral supplementation, the pass through the liver the first time, you're really not going to get too much out of it. Just like glutathione, unless it is using nanotechnology that I just recently seen, and I'm still like I want to see the testing on that, but I've seen some of the testing on some of the different products with this, the encapsulation on injections, creams, and capsules with this nanotech. That's the only thing I've seen on the market that might become close as far as oral forms or something you can rub on your body, which is truly going to work for NAD or glutathione. But as far as that goes, like I said, it's a game changer all the way around for your health, for your mental clarity, for energy levels, and so on and so on. So, if you're really trying to get the anti-aging tip or be better mentally sharp or have that great energy, then NAD is definitely the one you need to incorporate. And a lot of people they might go in, and these billionaires and stuff like that, they've got unlimited resources, they've got time where they can go, or they have somebody come to their house and they sit there for 2 hours and they get it done. A lot of people can't do that, and people that try to do that might get an IV bag maybe once a month, right?
Right.
But NAD, I mean, it's like anything else to a certain extent. It works for a short amount of period of time and then it's out. So you have to keep replenishing it to a certain degree. That's why, doing the injections by yourself, very simple, very easy at your convenience, and you can do it regularly to be consistent with the NAD.
Okay, so I'm going to answer some of these questions with you, Johnny. And
Sure.
I want to say the first thing is my staff over here goes, I don't want to do 5 shots a day because that's a lot. And
Wow.
so what I was trying to explain is, so if anybody at home didn't understand,
Yeah.
you do an IV once a week and you're getting that 500, let's say.
Right. Right.
And so what I was trying to say with myself is that you're doing 1 shot a day,
Right.
each day,
Right.
5 days in a row, and you're getting the same, but without the travel and all that involved.
That's
And so
correct.
that's what I was trying to explain. So if anybody at home misunderstood, we're getting the same as an IV. We're
Yes.
right. And all that. And yeah, we didn't really dive into what it does for your mind. That's a plus as well.
That's a huge one.
Cells. And this one you might have just came on. I was talking about this in the NAD is remember, you're a pro football player possibly by 21,
Yep.
22 years old, and I consider that extremely young.
Absolutely.
And a warrior, and they are doing it again.
Yep.
Titan Medical doesn't work with anybody under
21. Under 21. That's
so
correct.
if you're a parent, then that's your call on if you want to do something. Like for me, Titan's 18, 19. Mostly by the time he is, then the studies will be so tremendous, that hopefully by 16, 17, as his body is still growing, can help his cells grow even better.
Sure.
But again, I got 10 years of studying, 11 years is of studying.
A lot of time
available then. So that's what I'll do as a father.
We have no idea what else is going to be on the market at that time.
Yeah. 11 years from now. I mean,
it's just advancing so crazy.
11, 12 years ago is when you first started Titan Medical.
That's right.
It has transformed so much. And now and the world is speeding up.
Of course.
The world is speeding up. And so,
yes.
Yeah. So good luck to everybody out there doing this. Johnny, what's your recommendation for age on this as of right now?
I mean, anybody. I mean, 21 and up should definitely be possibly utilizing NAD. I mean, there's no negative downfall, no negative side effect that's going to be detrimental to their health. This is going to be something that's going to make you healthier, make you better. At that point, I wish I could utilize it a long time ago. I did, but I wish I had it way before that. So, for anybody out there that's really looking for something that's healthy for them, can better them in many different ways, NAD is going to be definitely up there in the top 3 for sure, 100% that I would utilize in so many different ways. I mean, like I said, maybe it's mental clarity, it's your natural energy, for anti-aging, cellular repair. I mean, the list goes on, man. So NAD is definitely one of the tops out there.
This person's asking 17 maybe. Anything like under 18 years old, regardless, I don't even recommend creatine. That's something you have to talk with your parents.
Exactly.
And do, guys. It's just not responsible for us to say anything under that.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not going to let Titan Medical say anything under 21. So for me, I would talk to your parents again, and then that child, when he turns 18, he can make his own decisions on what he wants to do. Sure,
definitely, 100%.
Let me see. Before we go on to glutathione, and it's going to be kind of the same principles that I want to know about on the amount that you can take during an IV bag.
Sure.
Oh, here's a good one. Why does the body react with NAD like it did with Mona this morning? What is it about that? I know that like you can't take certain vitamins, just over the counter vitamins, unless you take in a meal first. So, I think is it D that you shouldn't do it? Not only you should do D with like a fat nutritional product like eggs or nuts or something to help utilize and deliver the vitamin D. But it also upsets your stomach. So why does the body freeze up a little bit? And That's a bad term for you guys. Sorry. It's nothing dramatic as that. Why does it? Do you know?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So what's happening is your body is getting flooded with ATP. It's repairing some mitochondrial DNA too as well, which at that point that process works out for the cells, and then you start feeling maybe the nauseousness and the tightness in the chest. The tightness in the chest is from the flush of the ATP right off the bat. The nausea or like discomfort you might get in your stomach, that's because of the mitochondrial effect of what's happening from the NAD, and it happens very fast, very quick. But usually, what happens is if you were to take an injection per se, and you were to take 50 units and above, so 50 milligrams to 100 milligrams a day, what happens is you take it within the first 10 minutes, you'll feel that feeling, right? You feel that tightness in the chest. You're like, oh man, I can't breathe. Like, what is this doing? And then it dissipates, right? And then you start feeling fine. And that's kind of what it is. It's like just the kick-in effect, the rush of the ATP, the rush of the NAD, the mitochondrial effect, and at that point, it dissipates and you're through it. But that's why. That's what happens scientifically. What happens?
Well, there we go. So the next one is glutathione. Same kind of question.
Yep.
I forgot the dose they gave me. I wrote that down so I could forget it and not have to remember that stuff. But that being said, I don't have it in front of me. Do you know how much they do on the glutathione for an IV bag?
Sure. I mean, this could be a wide range number, right? So glutathione, you could take. I mean, you could take 1,000 milligrams through an IV bag, no problem. So you can take a higher dose of glutathione through an IV bag than you would be able to do an injectable. Injectable, you're getting 200 milligrams per ml. So one of these little insulin needles, that would be 200 milligrams that you're going to get. So 100 units, 1 ml. But an IV bag, you can definitely go up to 1,000. See people go up to 1,500. The only thing is when you start getting too high with glutathione can actually whiten the skin. You see those, you see some of the yeah, oh yeah, like Sammy Sosa, Michael Jackson, the skin
Michael,
whitening treatments. That was primarily glutathione that does that. So when you start taking it to 2,000, 3,000 milligrams, then you'll start getting start getting whiter. What can I say, Mike? So if people out there really want to get white, they start doing grams and grams of glutathione. But that's not going to happen with 200 milligrams if you take it every day. If you take 1,000 milligrams in an IV bag, it's not going to do that. The only thing with the IV bag, like I said, is you can get a lot more dose in the bag, especially. There's two types of different IV bags you would get from an IV place. You're going to get a 500 milliliter bag, or you'll get 1,000 milliliter ml bag. So for us, we always do the 1,000. The difference is in the 1,000, you can put more medication in, and it will give you more hydration. Because an IV bag, the only benefit of taking an IV bag with this is, yeah, you could get higher doses per se in the glutathione, but it's all about hydration. So at that point, it's if you're dehydrated, you get the fluids back in you, get them into you real quick. That's the difference with the bag. So at that point, like I said, glutathione, you can take a little bit more into an IV bag than you would be able to inject. Not to say you couldn't inject 1,000 milligrams, but then again, you're gonna have to take, a 3 ml syringe, hit it maybe with like a 25 gauge, and then if you're gonna do 3 mLs, you could possibly do it in the shoulder, but you're probably gonna have to pick a bigger muscle group like the glutes or the legs, which I really don't like to inject in, but that's the difference. But to get 200 milligrams per day, you're balling. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to do a push per se, like let's say you're sick, right? And you go in and you get like a Triimmune in an IV bag. So you're getting vitamin C, you're getting glutathione, you're getting zinc, and you're getting these at high levels. So that would be something that would be a benefit per se, right? Because
So
I could mix B complex in there. I mean, I could soup the bag up. So I mean, that's something that you have a bigger benefit on with an IV.
So that's only if you're trying to get a big push.
Right. If you're trying to do the daily, which 200 milligrams it's gonna be substantial for what you're trying to do. Whether it's a fatty liver, high liver enzymes, ALT, AST, you're getting over a cold, or you want to be preventative, or even for sperm analysis, for sperm health, I mean, glutathione's right there. The studies are there. And then getting rid of free radicals as far as that in the body, and which can cause damage to DNA, which we talked about before. And damaging DNA is not good. So,
I have a question then. Um, I'm a big believer on immune system and itself, and the immune system gets stronger when tested,
yep.
like anything. Will this hinder that? Will that kind of stop the ability of itself building up? But you're also not taking this all the time.
Right.
So you're basically saying, listen, for 3 months, I'm going to let my body chill. I'm
Yeah.
going to kind of boost it. Does
Yeah.
it shut it down, or
No,
how does it?
no, it doesn't have a negative feedback loop. Like if you were per se to take testosterone and the body recognizes and shuts down the system. And I'd put this to the Pepsi challenge too, as well, myself and anybody else out there can do as well. So obviously when I'm sick or I try to be preventative, I take glutathione. I take it a lot, but we have a glutathione blood test.
Can you
So I'm
tell
like,
us how much you do if you're sick?
sure. So for me, I would do 200 milligrams in the morning, 200 milligrams at night.
I love it. I love it.
I'd split
Okay.
that dose and take a heavier dose per se than preventative. Even if I went out and I don't do this, but if I went out and I drank a whole bunch the night before and I woke up with a splitting hangover, take glutathione and you start feeling a little better. I promise you. That's one of the things that would put in a hangover bag that you see. Like, we got this great hangover bag.
Right.
It's nothing but glutathione, vitamin C, some like Zofran's in there so you don't get nauseous. So the nausea goes away. A little bit of B complex to give you some energy, and you're on your way. So this is something that you can take for that. But as far as glutathione, I would take it, like I said, if you're sick, you can up the dose, one in the morning, one at night, and you'll start feeling better. Especially if you're congested or if you have allergies. That's the other thing. If you have allergies and you have to take Zyrtec every day,
Right.
which I did, I used to have to take 2 Zyrtecs a day.
Wow.
And that's not good for you at all. Right? But if not, I would be congested, man. I mean, I don't know why. And I wasn't sick. I mean, I had to take this all the time. So I started glutathione, boom, no more Zyrtec, which I love.
Gold.
Because taking too much of that, you're talking about putting taxation on the kidneys, on the liver, it's something you don't want to do. Me, myself, I want to take as less medications as possible and get the big benefit of the health side of it. So, if I can be smarter and not work as harder per se in my body, that's the way I'm going to go. With glutathione, and another one is that, it's a super antioxidant, man. And so, I mean, if you have any oxidation, and a lot of people, they don't really grasp this, antioxidants. So when we look at antioxidants, what do antioxidants really do for you inside your body? Right? I ask people this all the time. Do you really know? Like, no, it builds your immune system. It makes you stronger. You can fight all these different. Okay, that's great. But when we talk about oxidation, and I go back to a car because it's real simple and easy. You take a car that has chrome on it and you take it out to a beach that has salt. You let that salt sit there, it starts pitting and it starts rusting. That is oxidation, right? Same thing happens inside your body. You're not getting rust inside your body, but you're getting oxidation. And at this point, oxidative stress happens, which can cause a number of different health negative effects. So what this does is it reverses the oxidation effect that's happening in the body. So per se, you don't have any rust buildup inside. And I'm just saying that it's not really rust, so don't take it as literally a term, but
Yeah,
the
don't take that
oxidation
literally, guys. It's only I'm rusty inside, but I'm the tin man.
I got some oil for you. You're good to go, Mike. I promise. But yeah, so I mean that's the deal with glutathione. Glutathione, like I said, that's another amazing one out there. Super antioxidant, mother of antioxidants, beats out vitamin C or anything you're gonna take like that. So, it's something. It's something you can definitely utilize and definitely feel good on.
Thanks for jumping on here today, man.
Oh man, I'm just
Appreciate
happy to
that,
be
brother.
here. I'm happy. I'm happy to join you anytime, any place, anywhere, Mike. You know that.
I want to give you a double dose of this, man, everybody, this week. Just because we're just got so much great content over there and
Sure.
wisdom that this guy is talking about. So we'll see you guys next Tuesday. But Johnny, thank you again. And I know it was a big day for you there, family and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Sending our love
I
as
appreciate
always.
it. Thank you. Yeah, that was another thing. Healthcare has definitely went down the tubes. I mean,
Oh,
my dad got the port put in him today, and not once did I meet the doctor. Not before the procedure, which they usually come in before and they introduce themselves. Hey, I'm going to do the procedure on you. This is what we're going to do. Or they come in afterwards and say, hey, listen, everything went all right. This is what it is. Fine. Uh, None. I mean, I even had to wheel him out in his own wheelchair. Like nobody got to him. I wheeled him out. Like that's totally against policy because liability. If you're underneath anesthesia in a hospital and you walk out of the hospital by yourself, they are super liable. If you fall in the hospital, it's an automatic lawsuit. Automatic. So just dealing with that healthcare. If you're not dealing with Titan Medical Center, just be careful and cautious of who you deal with and how they're treating you.
hey, one of our Titan Crew lifestyle people here, Mary, and so I just want to say, Mary, I'm so glad that I made this connection that got me in touch with you to get you over there to make the connection. So if anybody's here, go follow Mary and talk to her about her interactions with Titan Medical
Please.
and how they've helped her. So yeah, that's it. Johnny, go crush the day. I'll talk to you later today.
I'll talk to you later, brother. Thank you, guys. Thank you,
Thanks.
Mary. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.